Everybody ready? All right. We are joined by Mississippi State head coach Sam Purcell and student athletes Jerkayla Jordan and Alana Smith. We'll begin with an opening statement from Coach Purcell, then we will take questions for the student athletes. Coach, if you could begin with an opening statement, please.
Well, first and foremost, I want to congratulate Texas A&M and Joni. Obviously, we have a lot of respect for them. We played them twice earlier this year. They're a young team, but those freshmen are obviously growing up. Sydney Bowles is shooting as good as anybody in the country tonight. And then they're just a different team with Janiah Barker. When you look back on their year, they didn't have Janiah, but they stuck together. We knew coming into this game that it was going to be an absolute battle for 4 quarters. I love the start from my team. We're up 25-19, but that second quarter was the game. We did some things that were uncharacteristic from us. We took too many quick shots. We quit talking in ball screens, and ultimately they punched us in the corner, punched us in the face. But ultimately, at the end there, we fought like no other, but it just wasn't enough. We'll take this. I still believe we're an NCAA tournament team. I talked to my team earlier. I was in this situation last year as an assistant at Louisville. We got upset in the first game against Miami. And you know what? Instead of just saying, oh, why us, or what, having all this bad anger or whatever, we got back in the gym. We came together. We learned from those moments, and we made a run to the Final Four. So this is a team that I know that is hurting. We all are. But again, we're going to give credit to Texas A&M. We'll get back in the gym, and then we'll wait our fate come Selection Sunday.
Questions for the student athletes, please raise your hand. We'll bring you a microphone, and please state your name and affiliation. Right here in front.
Gabrielle Lewis, the next. Jerkayla, I'm not sure if I have your name pronounced right, Miss Jordan. It seems like you brought a lot of intensity, particularly out of the half. Can you just talk about your mindset a little bit tonight?
Going to the half, really was just focusing on my defense. Shots weren't falling, but try anything I could, cut the lead to 5, cut the lead to as small as I could. And I knew my teammates had my back, and I just trusted them, and I just gave it all I had on the floor tonight.
Cora?
This is for either of you guys, but it felt like there was multiple moments in the fourth when you were just so close to getting it back or tying it or getting the lead. Why do you feel like you guys weren't able to, get over that hump in the fourth?
I'll take that one. Honestly, I think we kind of caved in and we kind of got in our heads. I feel like, credit to them. They're a great team. But I think tonight we beat ourselves mentally.
Jerkayla, your coach just said it. He believes you're still an NCAA team. What are your thoughts on that and why you guys deserve to be in the tournament and what needs to, improve before then?
I 100% agree with him. This game definitely a learning moment for us. It's a lesson. We're not gonna hold our heads down. Like he said, we're gonna get back in the gym, and we're just gonna, like he said, this it's not over for us.
Definitely gotta grind it out. Next week we gotta grind for sure.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Okay, ladies, you can be dismissed back to the locker room.
Thank you guys.
We'll now take questions for Coach Purcell.
You spoke about this a little bit, but what about this Texas A&M team tonight is different from the regular season?
I think they're growing up. Again, I can't give Joni enough credit. I told her before the game, when you got freshmen, they get punched and they get a lot of playing time, guess what? Those freshmen get better if they stay the course and they stay together. When you watch them on film, they don't have bad body language. They're together. They know every game they play. They're learning from their mistakes. And just like us, they're trying to peak at the right time. So Joni's one of the best coaches in the SEC, and she's got great freshmen. Janiah Barker was one of the top players to come out of the country in high school last year. I thought she's the difference maker because that stretch where they were losing games early, they didn't have her. But when she comes off the bench, even though it's 26 minutes, she's 2 for 5. I thought she had an unbelievable pass there. I think it was the beginning of the fourth quarter where she throws a skip and just finds Sydney, who was one of her former AAU teammates, and was just, a dagger 3 as we were trying to fight back. So, again, a lot of credit to them for never quitting, getting better as the year went, and now you're seeing a team that's getting hot at the right time of the year, and unfortunately we had to face them tonight.
Sam, you said you still think your team's an NCAA team. If this were to somehow put you guys on the bubble, what would you say in defense of why you guys belong in the tournament?
Well, that's the life. It's a life lesson. That's where I tell my young women, never take a day for granted. It's an opportunity, and that's what the mindset we've had all year is every day is an opportunity. Let's make the most of it. Today's one that it hurts. It hurts, but at the same time, I think we got to look back at the course of the other opportunities we have, and we seized it. We had some serious games where we had injuries, but we fought. We had people out, and we found a way to win. So we'll learn from this, but again, this one hurts a little bit.
Right here. We'll go right here on my left. Go ahead, right here.
What can you learn from this tournament experience going into March Madness?
Yeah, everything. I mean, we could go for days. First of all, I want to give a shout out to the SEC. This was a great tournament. The energy in the crowd, the city of Greenville was first class. Obviously, we learned from sitting in the hotel and watching film what it takes to prepare, and then you got to come out and put fourth quarters together. Again, I couldn't be happier. LSU, we go down to LSU in front of 15,000 fans. We're up 15-14. We come out tonight, we're up 25-19. We got to look and find a way from these last two games of how do you maintain and ride the wave, but most importantly, don't have too big of a quarter where you get it punched in the mouth and it's just too hard to come back. But we'll stick together. We'll be hungry, but again, talk is cheap, and we got to go to work, and we'll see how bad we want it next week.
Here, Gabrielle.
Your players said that they felt like this was a game that y'all lost for yourselves to a certain extent. Do you agree with that?
I do. The second quarter was just too much. It was uncharacteristics. I hate to say this, but back-to-back games now, second quarter, we're at LSU, like I mentioned, up 15-14. We start the second quarter with 3 straight turnovers. Tonight, we went crazy in the second quarter. That's on me. I got to figure out whether I got to go with different sets and a different flow or something I'm saying in the timeouts. So we'll watch this because we did too many good things tonight. But again, I think the game was lost tonight in that second quarter, unfortunately.
Right here. Cora.
This is your first season as a head coach in the SEC. You led your team to 9 wins. This tournament has been incredibly competitive every single game. What can you say about the competition in the SEC and how difficult it is to win in this conference?
Yeah, great question. Again, we only get better. This is the best conference in the country. The athletes, the rebounding, the speed, the shooting is next level. So there is something we'll take from this, a confidence, because we know we've played the national champions, all right, to a 7-point game. We've played Tennessee. We've played LSU, who I think can be a number 1 seed closely. So you got to take something from the wear and tear that the SEC provides. But again, we got to make sure, most importantly, we learn from this tournament to the questions y'all asked earlier and make sure this doesn't happen again and given the opportunity.
Right here for Gabrielle.
Can you assess the intensity of your team and what they brought, like whistle to whistle?
Yeah, I thought it was unbelievable. I thought you saw a fight there where Jessica Carter, right, we thought fouls out. We call a timeout, challenge it, we win it. My kids never quit. We're diving on the floor, we're hustling. There's moments we'll go back and watch film where we're 1 or 2 plays from executing that could have turned that momentum. But I've got winners. They subbed in. I went a lot of people because it was just an ugly game for how it was called. But we had to get after it and exert so much energy. So, again, I couldn't be more happy for how they fought. But again, it's that second quarter. I can't say it enough. 18-5 is the ball game. Yeah, and unfortunately, we just gave up too many turnovers, and then that momentum in half, I think, set a tone and an urgency from my group, but it was just too late.
Going off of that, what did you say to your team at the half? I mean, those first 4 possessions out of the half were pretty incredible. What did you tell them?
Yeah, I just told them, get back to playing Mississippi State basketball, which I think you see. Third quarter, we lose 25-23. In the fourth quarter, it's 19-17. We were going way too much one-on-one. We weren't making a move. We were playing way too fast. I called a timeout early. If I could go back, I'd called another timeout because that's on me. And then we went zone at the end to try to steal one in the half. We don't talk, and she goes all the way down the line and throws a 2-foot pass for a backbreaker. So at that point, we're going man, we're going zone. I should have called a timeout, and that's why we got to look in the mirror, but most importantly, not point fingers, but find a way to make sure those moments don't happen again.
Any other questions for Coach?
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.